With the 2024 election right around the corner, we could be closing in on some significant news involving former President Donald Trump, who's now reportedly been invited to testify next week before a New York grand jury. Potentially significant because the prosecution does have to offer such an invitation to any potential defendant before any indictments come. So we'll be watching that closely here in the days ahead. Meantime, the federal budget battle is escalating this week in Washington, with President Biden revealing his new spending plan. The president proposing taxes on the wealthy to pay for some federal programs, but Republicans say the plan is dead on arrival. Washington correspondent Hannah Brandt has the latest.
In battleground state Pennsylvania, President Biden made the case for his new wide-ranging budget plan.
My budget reflects what we can do to lift the burden on hardworking Americans.
His proposal includes several tax hikes for the rich that he says will strengthen funding for programs like Medicare and Social Security. And it includes trillions of dollars in new spending for priorities like childcare, prescription drugs, and clean energy.
It fits the needs of American families to a T and gives them the kind of hope and optimism that America is moving in the right direction.
Because of the tax increases, the White House says the plan would cut the federal deficit by $3 trillion over 10 years. But Republicans say the new taxes will only hurt the economy.
They have less money to make investments to create jobs. We don't have a revenue problem. We have an expenditure problem.
Instead, Republicans are demanding cuts to federal spending, and they say they won't raise the debt ceiling without them.
When the president delays our opportunity to negotiate together to help solve this problem, it only harms our economy more.
As is, there's no chance President Biden's budget will pass through the Republican-controlled House. But Democrats say Republicans haven't offered a counter plan.
The House Republican budget plan is in the witness protection program. It's in hiding.
Congress has until summer to reach an agreement to lift the debt ceiling or risk defaulting. In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
In a statement Thursday, Senator Mike Braun said President Biden's budget is dead on arrival. He called it a campaign wish list of tax hikes and fuzzy math that would do nothing to help Hoosiers struggling with what he called Biden's inflation crisis. When President Biden touts reducing the deficit, he means borrowing slightly less money this year than we borrowed last year, said Braun. Indiana Republican Congressman Rudy Yakum said the president's budget proposal shows he values higher taxes, more spending, less freedom, and bigger government. Unfortunately, Yakum says what it doesn't do is address the unsustainable fiscal situation we're in and the looming debt crisis the next generation will inherit unless we change course. Now, this week, our Washington bureau also spoke with senior presidential advisor Mitch Landrieu.
What's the top line message to the country?
The top line is really simple. The president has spent all of his time as president investing in the American people, trying to build an economy from the bottom up and the middle out, really a blue-collar blueprint for the United States of America. And so he's got a couple of really high priorities that he's going to keep hammering away on. And one of them is to lower the cost for the American people by lowering prescription drug costs, giving them access to health care, finding ways to help with child care so folks can get into the economy and continue to create the largest number of jobs that have been created in the history of the country, 12.1 million. The second is he wants to strengthen Social Security. He wants to strengthen Medicare. He wants to make sure that we reduce the deficit. He wants to make sure that the wealthiest people in the world pay their fair share, pay at least as much as firefighter, nurses, and emergency medical responders. All of those things help us invest in America, like the infrastructure bill that I'm responsible for implementing, so that we're building roads and bridges and airports so folks can get to and from where they're going. This budget document is a value statement. And the president has laid out his values very clearly and looks forward to working with the members on the Hill to get the American people in a steady place so that we can continue to move forward as we have in the last 2 years.
So let's talk about the Hill. The budget can't go anywhere if it doesn't make it through the House. Republicans are already characterizing the plan as a classic Democrat tax and spend policy. How do you respond to that?
Well, to be clear, it is a very fiscally responsible budget. It actually cuts the deficit by $3 trillion over the years. The Republicans have been talking about things that are actually going to increase the deficit, of course, 25% of which was increased during the previous administration. So number one, this president has been very fiscally responsible. Secondly, if you listen to what the Republicans on the Hill are talking about, notwithstanding the fact that they actually haven't presented their plan, which we're really looking forward to, it's actually going to threaten potentially Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid.
All right, speaking of Medicare, former VP Mike Pence, in an op-ed this week, blasted the president's budget and tried to potentially make the case for some cuts down the road, saying Medicare will be unable to make good on its bills in 2029, triggering automatic cuts. He says it will slash health care benefits. The president and his team of economists and PhDs want to kick the can down the road, Pence says, and let others deal with the long-lasting structural problems that have plagued the program for decades. He asked, is this really the best we can do? We'll talk more about that coming up.